I've spoken a lot in my videos about how electric cars have a lot of power, a lot more power than an internal combustion engine vehicle, because you have instant acceleration, instant torque. You don't need to spool the boost up, press the accelerator and go, I'm waiting. All of a sudden, bang. EVs don't have that. And this can actually cause some problems. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking. I'm Sam Evans. And yes, electric cars are awesome, exciting. I've heard of people who they're against them. They're right into gasoline, petrol-powered cars. They're like petrol heads. You know, they want to get out and tinker with, put new turbos and superchargers on their car. And then all of a sudden they have a drive in a fast electric car and it blows their minds, and then they're just converted to EVs. There's a really interesting story of someone being this EV hater. They had to drive in a Tesla Model S Plaid, and all of a sudden they gave up their petrol car, diesel, gasoline car obsession, and they started organizing electric car events and got right into it. Anyhow, the problem with this kind of acceleration, maybe I shouldn't say the problem, but one of the challenges people face is some people just can't drive. Some people are just shocking drivers, and they get a car, it's got insane power, and they don't know what to do with it. They just crash. So yes, you're probably thinking, why is there so many crashes involving Tesla vehicles? Well, they've got a lot of power. A lot of people who buy them are not really experienced with performance cars, as was the case with the Muppet who drove through someone's house and into their swimming pool. Authorities are still investigating the accident that just happened that damaged renovations by the homeowner and, of course, ended up with a Tesla floating in a pool. One Arizona homeowner had the fright of their life after Tesla drove through their concrete wall and took a dive into their backyard pool. This is not the first time Tesla vehicles have ended up in swimming pools or people's houses. It's not Tesla's fault, is it? But yeah, this is one of the consequences of having instant power, instant acceleration. The driver of the Tesla survived without injury. They managed to swim out of the car. The same can't be said of the car or the yard it crashed into. Police are still searching for the cause of the crash. Now, obviously the insurance company, you got to question, would they cover this scenario? This is kind of like reckless driving. That's what you might think. But the thing is, when you've got so much power that's so easily accessible, are you being reckless or are you just a bad driver? Could be one or the other. How, if you're the insurance company, do you make a decision on whether or not you cover this kind of craziness? What do you guys think? Is this insurance? Let me know what you think in the comments. Apparently this incident occurred in Glendale, Arizona, and the homeowner, called Joe Papineau, says he thought he'd heard an explosion. I was sleeping in my bed when all of a sudden I hear this huge crash and a big explosion. Papineau says he believes the Tesla driver was traveling southbound on 35th Street when another car pulled out in front of the driver. In a desperate attempt to avoid an accident, the Tesla driver made an evasive maneuver but couldn't recover in time to avoid Papineau's backyard. Now, I don't know if there's any truth to those claims, because the driver who apparently caused the accident was nowhere to be found. And if you did this, maybe you would drive off, or maybe the Tesla driver just made up this story. I don't know. To me, I always talk about the incredible, insane performance of electric cars. I've been in a few fast EVs and I've felt sick being the passenger. The driver I can handle, being the passenger, I just feel like I want to throw up. So that's one of the amazing things about EVs. But of course, you've got to be careful. Somebody who just bought a Fisker Ocean with 550 horsepower said that they were a bit scared because in the wet, it felt like they were a bit out of control. The ESC was coming on too late. The car was like losing traction, and it felt pretty scary. This is what can happen in rear-wheel drive electric cars, front-wheel drive, and in fact in any electric car. Remember, a lot of EVs are under-tired. What does that mean? Well, they have small tires, fairly, not very big traction on those tires, like fairly slick tires in order to get more efficiency out of the car. And that means a lot less traction in the wet. So guys, be careful, be safe out there. Just remember, if your car has a lot of power, that it's pretty easy to lose traction in the wet. I've done it in a rear-wheel drive car. I had a smash on the day of my engagement. Smashed our rear-wheel drive car. We had very little money at the time. We had almost no money. And we actually ended up selling our car in order to buy our first house. So we were carless until my granddad gave me a car. Anyhow, I smashed our car on the day of our engagement. Going around a roundabout, I wasn't even driving all that fast, but it was a rear-wheel drive car. and it was raining. I don't think I've told anyone that story because I was quite embarrassed by that. But anyway, now you know my story. What do you think of this, guys? Let me know in the comments. Have you had any experiences like this? Thank you for watching.